Hi, it's Mandy from Mandy Jane Life Design and Tectonic, and the subject today is confidence and how to have more confidence. So here we go. So in all my years of work with clients and people that I've met during my work in mental health, I've never once come across somebody that doesn't wish they had more confidence. We all seem to lack it at certain times in our lives, and it's something that you need to work at constantly. I don't think I've ever met anybody that's constantly confident, always feels fantastic. It's a work in progress, and you just have to keep working at it and keep championing yourself, because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to. There's always a lot of detractors out there, people trying to put you down, people trying to make you feel bad about yourself. And I'm going to teach you how to just, work against that and just not let other people affect you, and how to keep yourself strong and solid and feeling good about yourself. Right, so the first thing that you can do is act as if, and this means that you may not always be feeling confident inside, but you can still enable your body language to make it look like you are confident. A good way of doing this is to imagine a role model or somebody that you quite respect and look up to. Perhaps it's a celebrity, or it could be your great uncle, or it could be anybody that you just find inspires you and you wish you were like them. And visualize how they speak, how they sit, how they talk, how they walk, and try and emulate that, try and copy their behavior. Funny thing is, though, that what you mirror inside is often what gets mirrored on the outside. So if you act confident, you'll find that people do treat you differently, and people will start to treat you in a way that shows more respect and shows that, wow, they're quite confident, wow, they've obviously got something interesting to say. It is an interesting thing, but you've got to take that leap of faith in the beginning, and while you don't feel the confidence inside, you have to portray this idea of having a lot of confidence. And the funny thing is that the more you do that, the more it will come naturally to you, the idea that you are naturally confident. It's almost as if the neural pathways in your brain create new pathways that become more rigid and more enforced, and it becomes natural to you. So give it a try. Imagine how somebody that would be confident would act and behave, and try and copy this behavior and see how that goes for you. It's a very good trick, and it works for me. The second thing that you can do to increase your confidence levels is to focus on your strengths. Generally, when we're down or when life's sort of beating us up and we feel a bit battered and we're losing confidence, we tend to focus on negatives and think, oh, I can't do this, or I failed at that, or I tried this and it didn't work. And we tend to go into this negative spiral and just feel worse about ourselves. So you've got to pick yourself up, get out of that negative spiral, and think about things that you are happy about, that have been good in your life. Perhaps you have a nice smile, perhaps you're good with people, maybe you're good with plants. You're a good skydiver. Everybody has some talent that they have. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and the trick is to focus on your strengths. There's no benefit to you to think about all the bad things. So try and be a positive thinker and focus on your strengths. If you need to write a list of all the good things about you, get your friends and family to write a list of all your strengths and the things that they find great about you, and look at those daily as a way to pep you up. A very important strategy in looking after yourself and being confident is to be careful of what you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself. We all have this internal critic that constantly puts us down and tells us we didn't do this right, or compares. It just doesn't work for you. It's not beneficial. Ask yourself why you're doing it and how it's benefiting you. It just isn't. So watch those thoughts. Don't put yourself down. Be aware of them, monitor them, and try and replace them with more positive thinking. So if you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm not lovable, or I'm not good at this, or I'm not good at that, think about occasions where you have been good at something. That's very rational thinking, to think that you're always all good or all bad. That's very irrational, and black and white thinking and generalizing. There will always be examples if you look for them. You've got to force yourself to look for the good things and look for the examples and the exceptions when you have done well, and start tuning into those, and you'd be amazed at how your thinking can change if you force yourself to tune into the positive. So keep in mind that you need to watch your thoughts and be careful of what you're telling yourself, because that can lead you into an incredibly downward spiral. Just be very aware of what you're doing, what you're saying, read positive things, think positively, and be aware when the negative thoughts are there, but challenge them all the time. Challenge them and ask, where's the evidence? Why am I thinking like this? How is this helping me? How can I think better about myself that will make me feel happier about myself? just do it. Don't question, go, well, it's not realistic, or I shouldn't be doing it like this. Just be positive. Think about all the good things. Being negative and telling yourself that you're no good is just gonna work against you. It's not gonna help. So we all do it, but just remember, it's almost like I have this saying that I say to my clients: if you had a parrot in the room that kept saying, "You're rubbish, you're stupid, you can't do anything," what would you do with that parrot? You'd get rid of it. So it's the same with your thoughts. They're just thoughts. They're not reality. They're not what's actually happening. They're not facts. It's just your perceptions of things, and you can change them. You can learn to stop thinking like that. So just be aware of that. That's a very important part of being confident, is what you're thinking and saying to yourself. Right, now this is a biggie because we all do it again, and it's so counterproductive and self-defeating, and that is comparing ourselves to other people. It really does not work on any level. It's really not good for you. It's counterproductive. We all tend to have we all know ourselves really well, so we know what's going on inside and how our weaknesses and our insecurities, and we use that to look at the rest of the world, and we seem to always see that other people look so confident or have everything. They're the perfect parent, they always look well turned out. But I want you to not be taken in by it. Never ever compare your inner reality, what's really going on, with your perceived reality of what you're seeing on the surface, the exterior of other people's lives, because it's never the truth. The reality is completely different. I've been completely astounded by clients who come to see me, and they're walking really confident, looking incredibly impeccable, and then they break down on my sofa and say they're really upset and life's terrible and they hate themselves. I'm not saying that's a good thing and that everybody out there should be miserable, but I'm just saying don't be taken in by it and use that to confirm that you are so bad or you're so awful. Life is never as it seems. Comparing is just, don't do it. We're all on our own paths. We all have our own goals, our own journeys, our own lessons to learn in life. And just don't compare yourself to other people. You don't really know what's going on in their lives, and don't wish bad on other people either. But just be aware that it's unrealistic and it's irrational to be comparing what you know is going on in your life to what you think is going on in other people's lives. It's just irrational and it doesn't help. So don't do it. Please don't do it. Right, now, one of the other points that's very important for confidence is to have goals and purpose in life. We all need to feel that we're here for some reason, that we're contributing, that we're doing something worthwhile. Put some short-term goals into place, ones that are easy to achieve, and have some long-term goals that gives you a bit of direction and a bit of guidance. It's also very good to know yourself well, so that you're less influenced by people saying you should be like this or you should be like that. Confidence comes from an inner sense of well-being, of knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and not being swayed by other people. If you're losing your sense of identity and being too influenced by other people, then when you're in a social situation you can easily feel insecure because you don't really know who you are or what you stand for, and other people seem to know what they're doing. Again, it's this comparing thing going on. So be really, really aware of setting yourself goals, of contributing, being involved, knowing who you are, living according to ethical values, of course, and just sticking to that and getting to know yourself really well, and having goals which give you a sense of purpose, and that can be enormously fulfilling and satisfying. Another thing I like to talk about, and I mention this to my clients a lot, is energy awareness. I really believe there's a flow of energy in life. So you're either around people who contribute to your positive energy, or there are people sometimes that detract from that and they drain you emotionally, and you need to have a bit of time out. So it's very important to do a bit of an energy awareness session where you look at the events and people that inspire you and make you feel great, and those that tend to make you feel down or drain you, and that can come and go. It's not a static situation. But just to be aware of that and make sure that you're replenishing your positive energy levels, and that you're spending time with people that are on your wavelength, that really get to you, that help you feel inspired and positive about the world. If you spend too much time amongst people that detract from that, that can sort of leave you feeling really empty and tired, and then your reserves and your defenses are down, and that's when you're more likely to lose the confidence. So make sure you make time for positive things, things that give back to you, things that make you feel fantastic. Whether it's going out for a walk, whether it's calling up an old friend that you know is able to talk to you on a really good level, just some sort of distraction, some good music. just anything that replenishes you, whether it's your yoga. Everyone has different activities that they like and that they feel gives back, so it makes them feel good and feels that they're in a buzzing again. So make sure you make time for those things in your life too, because that just replenishes you and feeds your soul and keeps you going. Very important. It's like fuel for you to keep on going and to feel strong in this world. So keep that up. And if you're not keeping that up, then make sure you find ways to fill up your reservoirs of positive thinking and good stuff. Right, the last one to help you with your confidence is to believe in yourself. Just 100% believe in yourself. You may fail along the way, but just take that as a lesson that rate didn't work, and that's just making me get closer to my goal because I know that didn't work. It's a trial and error process. A lot of life is trial and error. We all fail. It's how you deal with failure. You pick yourself up. You don't say, I'm a failure. You say, well, that didn't work. I'm going to try something else. Believe in yourself. Champion yourself. You're all you've got. If you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. And as I said earlier about this mirroring, if you feel it on the inside and you portray yourself as somebody confident that you like yourself, people will pick up on that. And as I say, 75% of our communication is non-verbal, and people will treat you differently. I've done research on this. I've read loads of research. It's been proven that the more you give out and the more confident you seem and the more you seem to like yourself, the more other people will like you. They'll just take that as fact. They're confident, they're likable, okay, and they'll go along with that. They won't question it. So it's important to put your best foot forward, smile, make eye contact, believe in yourself, write down whatever you need to write down, positive affirmations, things that make you feel good about yourself. Not talking negatively to yourself again, as I said earlier. And just get out there, sock it to them, show them what you've got. Good luck, and let me know your stories, any feedback. I always appreciate that. Get out there, look after yourself, and show them what you're made of. Bye for now.